CyberCube has just released version 3 of Portfolio Manager, one of our key products. I'm Yvette Essen for CyberCube, and joining me to talk through some of the latest features in our cyber risk accumulation modeling platform is Jacob Tapper. He is Senior Actuarial Associate for CyberCube. Jacob, thank you for your time. First of all, could you give me a little bit of a history about Portfolio Manager? When was it launched and what does it aim to enable clients to do?
Yeah, sure. So Portfolio Manager is our catastrophic cyber aggregation tool, mostly focused on the cyber peril. It first launched in March of 2018, and the main aims of the tool are to be able to understand relationships between a client's policyholders within their portfolio and common service providers that act as single points of failure within cyber risk. The main use cases for Portfolio Manager for our clients are with actuarial pricing, reinsurance placements, aggregation management, and capital allocation.
Now, you mentioned it was launched in 2018. To what extent has it been modified since then?
So typically we work on a 2-week update cadence. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that we'll update the tool every 2 weeks. It's just the typical sprints that our team work towards to. Those updates over the years have included things like bug fixes, increased functionality or new features, and improved usability. There's been, since the release in March 2018, there have been dozens of these types of releases. There has also been one other major release, Portfolio Manager version 2, that was completed in April 2020.
Now we are on version 3 of Portfolio Manager. Could you outline some of the key differences between version 2 and version 3?
So between Portfolio Manager version 2 and version 3, there are quite a few updates and new features and things that we've added. So I'll go through a couple of the key ones, but it's by no means an exhaustive list. So the first new feature is the introduction of the reinsurance engine, which is something that's been on our roadmap for quite some time now. And what that really is going to allow clients to do is to overlay their reinsurance program over the losses that they can currently produce using our model. The two types of reinsurance that we will allow clients to overlay at this point in time are the excess of loss and quota share reinsurance, given that they are the two most commonly used types of reinsurance within the cyber peril at this point in time. Then the next feature is the explicit sampling of intensity parameters. So this is a feature that will allow users to better understand the relationship between key variables within a given scenario and the portfolio level losses that can emerge from that scenario. And so a couple of examples of that are for scenarios that include a significant amount of downtime. The actual length of downtime will now be explicitly sampled on an occurrence basis, or in the case of a data breach, the percentage or number of records that have been stolen will be more explicitly visible to the user, so they can match up those variables to the portfolio level losses that they're seeing. In terms of kind of general updates, so updates to assumptions, we typically use the major release, time between major releases, to do as much research as possible across all of the different modules. So that includes revisiting the narratives, the frequency, the non-uniform priors, the footprint, the severity, and the financial module, and updating things where we have got updated information, more empirical data, or we have just seen things within clients or within some of our other partners that allows us to present what we think is the most up-to-date view of the cyber risk landscape. And then finally, another feature that is more related to usability than it is to things that may change the output. We've introduced the ability for members of the same team to be able to share either their portfolio and associated analyses, or their analyses and the associated portfolios with other members of their team. And so we think this is a useful feature to allow for greater collaboration between teams when they're going through their cyber risk modeling.
Finally, where can people find out more information about Portfolio Manager and the changes that we've made?
So we've spent a lot of time creating a real wealth of information. Most of that is available online at docs.cybercube.com. Other than that, I would recommend that clients get in touch with their client success representative, who should be able to point them in the right direction for any of the queries they have about all things Portfolio Manager.
Of course, more information about Portfolio Manager can be found on our website, www.cybercube.com. For CyberCube, I'm Yvette Essen.